Luis is late again. I mean, we need to get this done on time.
Like, does he not understand that we can't start until he gets here with the hard drive?
It's always something. You okay, man?
What happened to your arm?
God, I hope you have a good excuse.
You best bet I do. I was running for my life out there. I was deep behind enemy lines. The Empire's forces were hot on my trail. I was running for my life out there. So you have to forgive me for being a couple minutes late.
So, do you have the drive?
Yeah.
Just next time, try to be on time.
Do or do not. There is no try.
It's May the 4th, isn't it?
Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
Good morning, Newton North. I'm Elena Arashidze.
And I'm Mauricio Riedewald. Welcome to this episode of the NN Update. May the 4th be with you all.
Only in TV media arts can you battle with lightsabers and call it schoolwork.
That's right. The CTE programs certainly make learning fun, but there's a lot of hard work and dedication that goes on behind the scenes.
To recognize these students, each eligible CTE program nominates one Major 3 for the Outstanding Student of the Year award. Reporter Raven McBride has that story.
Each year, teachers from the CTE programs can nominate one Major 3 student to be chosen for the CTE Outstanding Student of the Year award. We sat down with 3 of them. David Stern is a nominee due to his achievements in automotive technology.
My favorite thing about this CTE program is how hands-on it is, and that every day we're always doing interesting work in the shop.
David goes above and beyond in class. His passion for the course has no breaks. This has been noticed by his teacher, Mark Lutz.
Here he's been the most dedicated, always did what he needed to do and went beyond that. He was here first, left last, and was ready to work every day.
Rachel Kaplan, who was nominated to represent Early Ed and Care, feels that this program was just right for her.
I've always been interested in working with kids, and I've worked at my temple and my dance studio with kids, but I wanted more experience actually doing lessons and with behavior management and stuff, so I thought that this would be a great opportunity to get that. I knew that I wanted to take the exploratory course, but I planned to only go up until a Major 1 because I knew that it took up a lot of time in my schedule, but I just loved it so much, and I knew that if I didn't continue, I would really miss this part of my day.
To be a Major 3 in these programs, students must dedicate 3 blocks to their schedules. With these demands, nominees have to devote the time and effort that these programs require.
She is diligent about her work, creative. She puts a lot of effort and time into her curriculum building and into her homework and studies.
Maya Sinai, a graphics major who creates intricate designs, has found a home in the busy atmosphere.
I walked in and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And I saw the shop and it was really busy, and I kind of felt comfortable because I've always been a busy person. I like the community and I like the work, the workflow. I like how everyone in this classroom is really close.
I call her our creative director in here, so when we need help with stuff, I'll call her over. She's very good with other students. It's not just how good she is in graphics, but it's her community service, her commitment to civic engagement, her volunteerism, her other classes, her transcript, her grades. There's a whole criteria that when I looked at the whole criteria, I thought she was our best choice.
On Thursday, March 28th, 2024, Kathleen Duff, the head of the CTE department, led the awards ceremony, which celebrated each student and crowned a winner.
I know how much the kids work together and how much in the programs and the teachers all collaborate, making these programs the success they are. So really, you're standing on the backs of all of your colleagues, and congratulations to all of you. And so now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Congratulations.
Congratulations! How does it feel to have your hard work recognized and to win this award?
I think it feels amazing. I'm very proud of myself. I'm really owe it all to my teachers and everyone that kind of taught me what I know, and also I think that all the nominees were really impressive and everyone had their own skills.
Congratulations to Maya Sinai and all the other nominated students for all their hard work. For NNTV, this is Raven McBride.
Congratulations, Maya Sinai and all the nominees.
TV Media Arts is proud to share some good news of our own. We were recognized by the New England chapter of the National Student Television Awards. TV Media Arts received 15 nominations and walked away with wins for Best News Magazine Show and Best PSA.
Another community that deserves to be recognized is the cast and crew of Theater Inc.'s Chicago the Musical. Reporter Mauricio pulled back the curtain to reveal all the razzle-dazzle.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are about to see a story of murder, greed, corruption, violence, exploitation, adultery, and treachery. All the things we hold near and dear to our hearts. Thank you.
5, 6, 7, 8.
The spring musical is our biggest show because of so many components. You know, the cast size, the music, the choreography, everything that goes into it, the level of design. You know, you're on that big stage.
What we do is we do research on like the hairstyles of the time. A lot of very popular hairstyles were like finger waves, which are the waves that go like this, kind of. So we learn about that, and then we take out the wigs. Example.
Roxy, rock Chicago!
So I play Roxy in Chicago. She's one of the main female characters. I've really had a lot of fun with her. Just, you know, I get to yell on stage, I get to kind of get mad at people, I get to like have my moment, like really live through Roxy in that way.
I was Hanyak, who is like a Hungarian woman in the show. What that looked like was about 3 months of training with our lovely accent coach at North, and that looked like us meeting once or twice a week and writing out my Hungarian phonetically on a piece of paper until I got it.
I am the lighting designer of Chicago. For me in lighting, that meant staying away from red as the Chicago color. So my color palette really lived way more in the cyan, magenta, purples world.
So that's what this show is all about. It's about fighting for attention. It's about who can come up with the biggest story and really sell it. And it's just so weird, I think, how still so true that is today.
Yeah, but did you do it?
Hanyak is kind of, her character is a political statement. She is the only one in the show who is not guilty. But she's also the only one that ends up facing any repercussions for the crime that she did not commit.
The Hungarian woman's last words were, "Not guilty."
Nell, who plays Velma, we have this number at the end called Hot Honey Rag, where it's basically just like a fun dance number where Roxy and Velma's characters, who have kind of been feuding throughout the show, finally come together at the end.
It's them turning their situation into something that they can exploit. It's the American dream. It's turning tragedy and the horrible things that they did and turning it around and saying, we're stars from it.
The show is attempting to play with our feelings and kind of make us get so wrapped up in the spectacle of it all that we kind of forget that these are people who have committed these kind of unspeakable murders.
On a personal level, this is my last musical at North, and so it's definitely been my best experience in being in a show at North. I just think the people, I've made so many new friends, whether it be just people I've never really gotten to talk to before or like freshmen who I just never met. And so it's been a really good social experience for me.
I love talking to my fellow people in WAM. I love talking to the actors. I love hanging out with crew. I'm a very social person, and I really enjoy that.
And as a senior, you know, it kind of hits different. And I didn't realize that until I was able to like hug my best friend and cry and be like, you know, we did this together, and I'm so happy we did.
I'm really proud of everybody for really stepping up and doing their job, really bringing their heart and soul into it. So whenever they look, hey, we did Chicago, but we did it with these people. And that's a really special thing.
That was such a great show. Their hard work really paid off.
In our next story, Ben Newman went inside Newhouse Wildlife Rescue, where a Dr. Dolittle-like caregiver is giving animals a second chance on life from the comfort of her own couch.
Along a quiet suburban street, you may expect to find wide lawns, white fences, and a quiet lifestyle. But in this house, quiet is hard to come by. Here, owner Jane Newhouse has dedicated her life to giving a second chance to injured wildlife. For her, that means sharing her home.
Started it about 6 years ago, 2018. I was a veterinary technician. I did that for about 7 years. Since then, now this is basically all I do full time.
But Jane doesn't do the work by herself. Ever since volunteer James Stubbs started working for the organization, he has become a staple at the center.
I've been a veterinary technician for like 5-ish years, 6 years or so, and then started wildlife rehab about a year ago.
James is incredible, so I know if I'm like, yo, can you handle this emergency? Can you get this possumed? And James has it, I know the animal's gonna be okay.
One particular recovery James spearheaded even went so far as to change the way people see injured animals. 6 months ago, James and the center got national attention for helping rehabilitate an injured fox.
The entire forelimb was broken to the point where we weren't able to save that limb, but he had such a will to live and such a drive in him. The ability to like change the way we do things is really inspirational for me. The amputation was an automatic euthanasia for a really long time, but we kind of proved that that doesn't have to be the standard anymore.
For the animals that are successfully rehabilitated at Newhouse, they are brought back to their natural habitat. Others, though, may never be able to fully return.
So Stanley has epilepsy. He came to us as an orphan, and he was raised with 2 other groundhogs. And he was normal for a while. He seemed normal like the rest of them. And then when he got to like a teenager, essentially, he started having seizures. We weren't sure if we could save him. It was a very scary time. He has to have the meds 3 times a day to keep the epilepsy down, so he can't be released. But he still has a great quality of life, which is why we thought he'd be a wonderful educational animal.
From schools to city halls, Stanley has been instrumental in advocating for the work done by Newhouse. But for Jane, dedicating herself to wildlife has often meant blurring the line between the animals and her life at home.
She was found in a dumpster breathing like that. And we did x-rays and ultrasounds trying to understand what was going on.
It's been very hard to separate the two, actually, because the wildlife rescues in my home, there's never a time when you're clocking out.
I think it's really inspirational to see these animals and kind of how much of a will to live that they have.
It puts life in perspective in a lot of ways. Some days I'm aggravated because something didn't go right. Maybe my pants were too tight and I'm like, God, I gotta go on a diet. Life's so hard. And then you get a baby squirrel that's emaciated and so dehydrated and covered in fleas, and all this animal wants is to be warm and fed. And you're like, man, my problems aren't so bad. Some of the things these animals go through, and they're just trying to survive out there.
The work that Jane and James do has helped hundreds of animals return to their natural habitats, and they are certainly not slowing down anytime soon. As Jane looks to expand to a bigger location, we can be sure that the important work they do will continue for years to come. For NNTV, this is Ben Newman.
Thanks, Ben. If you'd like to make a donation to the Rehab Center, please visit their website, newhousewildliferescue.org.
For our last story, reporter Anasha Kaskar shed some light on the solar eclipse. This spectacle facilitated an equally rare event, the first school-wide gathering since 2012.
Hi, I'm Anasha Kaskar, and in a few hours, all of Newton North will come out to this field for our first school-wide event in over a decade. Over 2,000 people will be here to witness this rare occurrence, a solar eclipse.
I'm just excited to see it. I don't think I've ever seen a solar eclipse before, and I'm just so excited.
This moment of, pure extraterrestrial type of, deal, it could be the end of the world.
I've just never seen one before, and I think it's so cool, and I'm already kind of blinded, so I kind of just want to look up, but I'm not.
I'm excited because I've never experienced this much since I was in 5th grade, but I still really remember that, so it feels like cool to be back and doing it. Yeah, and it's getting dark and it's cool.
It's covering the moon, babe. I mean, the moon's covering the sun, baby.
I think it just builds community, and yeah, it's a great opportunity for all of us to be together.
I think I just feel like a big sense of community right now, and this is I think probably my first time being at North and being in an event with the whole school.
I think it's important for the community to have school-wide events like this because it gives us more time to connect as a community.
It builds community, and it's fun. There's music, the Drake playing, the weekend playing.
Look, everybody's here. You can find all your friends, and it's great. We should definitely do this more. Build community.
The next full solar eclipse isn't until May 1st, 2079. Hopefully, we can get the whole school community together again before then.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be tuning into NNTV to watch my granddaughter cover the eclipse.
That's all for this episode. If you have your own stories to share, DM us on Instagram at Newton North TV. We look forward to hearing from you.
Catch us on our final episode of the year on May 20th. Have a great day.